Joining us now is one of our wonderful volunteers from Penticton, who's been volunteering with the Warm the Soul campaign for a few years. Lois, welcome to Plugged In.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
So Lois, you have been a Kidney Foundation volunteer for a few years now and involved in the Warm the Souls initiative. Can you tell us about that experience this year?
Sure. So I've actually been a volunteer with the Warm the Souls campaign, or involved with the Warm the Souls campaign from its inception. So there was a core group of volunteers here in Penticton that introduced the possibility of a Warm the Souls campaign. At that time, I was the manager of the Renal program in Penticton, and I was approached to say, is this something we could do with the clients, and what do you think, and is it viable? And so I was able to work with the volunteers that first year, getting the Warm the Souls campaign established in Penticton, and then I have volunteered with them ever since. I've had a couple of friends join me, and I actually had one friend actively asking me, when are we doing the socks again this year? And so it is something that it does attract attention. It attracts volunteers because it's fun. You come together for a day. This year we sorted and packaged socks for all the renal clinics in the Okanagan area. In the past, last year we actually did socks for the whole province. So last year we sorted, packaged, labeled over 5,000 pairs of socks and had a blast doing it. This year, only sorting and labeling about 1,500 socks seemed like just a fun day of getting together with friends.
So Lois, 1,500 pairs of socks. That sounds like a lot to me. Can you walk us through the process? How does that day go?
Every year has been a little bit different. We had boxes of socks, and so what we do is we also have printouts of the various clinics and how many socks need to go to each clinic. So we take the socks out of the box, take them out of their plastic wrappers. We also have big balls of rubber bands, and we attach an information sheet to each pair of socks, and then they get counted out and put back into the boxes. But now the boxes are labeled with each unit that they're going to. And so the kidney care clinics that they were going to this year, the staff at the kidney care clinics were expecting the boxes. They had been part of the planning process for how many pairs of socks each clinic needed. And so the kidney care clinic staff will now be receiving these boxes. We had a wall full of boxes, all sealed and labeled, and Canada Post was coming to do a pickup right from there to get them out and get them off on their way to their units that they were going to. So you do a lot of chatting. I mean, sometimes there's rubber bands break and they go flying, and there's little clips from the socks go flying, and you end up with this massive stack of socks that have labels on them, and they're almost to the point of cascading down. So then you start taking them off and packing them into boxes. So it's a little bit of a chaos until you kind of get the rhythm, but then it's just fun. You chat and pack and label, and you know that the socks are heading off to the kidney care clinics at the end of the day, and you know that those people will be receiving them at the kidney care clinics. They would be getting them when they come in for their clinic visits, and so they will be distributed over the next period of time as people come into clinic to get their visit done.
For you personally, Lois, what motivates you to give back year after year?
Being involved with the inaugural part of it, and seeing the enthusiasm of the volunteers as they coordinated that first Warm the Souls campaign, seeing the clients as they received their socks, they were happy. They got this little gift of recognition, and the Kidney Foundation is all about supporting the renal client in their journey, and it's a different way to support the renal client. But because some of the volunteers have experience on the patient side, they know that often when you're on dialysis or when you have kidney disease, your toes feel cold, like your extremities often feel cold. And so this is a very literal way of warming the souls. By giving them a pair of socks, quite a few of the dialysis clients kept their socks in their little dialysis bin and then put them on when they were settled onto their dialysis run. And it actually literally warmed their souls while they were on their dialysis runs. They also were quite happy to get that interaction with the volunteer, to hear a little bit about the Kidney Foundation, to get that small gift of something that was designed just as a way of helping that individual feel better as they go through their journey. The Warm the Souls campaign was a volunteer idea. It didn't come from the board, so these ideas on how to support people are being generated at the ground level by people who have an interest and often an experience within renal disease. It's a way too to respect their ideas, to bring them forward, to let them grow, let them develop, and see where they go.
And Lois, this you volunteer with the Warm the Soul campaign, but that's actually not the only volunteer capacity you're with the Kidney Foundation. Can you talk about, I think, the kidney walk you were saying?
Yeah, the first year I volunteered with the kidney walk, it was quite an eye-opening to see clients from the dialysis unit out with their families. And you're outside, you're in the sunshine, everybody's pumped up. The local sports teams are there doing their part. There's radio announcers, there's the silent auction with all that. So there's a lot of energy.
Oh, give ourselves a round of applause!
The third week of April is National Volunteer Appreciation Week. And Lois, what have you gained by being a volunteer?
Volunteers gain a lot of things. So one, as a volunteer and working with the group of volunteers here, we're only involved in a small part, but we can do that little part. And if everybody does a little part, it's amazing. Like when we came into 5,000 socks to sort, everybody in that volunteer group did a little part. And at the end of the day, it was done. And so coming together, which is a big thing of volunteering, is coming together as a community of volunteers and looking at a project that may seem intimidating, but you take it one small step at a time and you accomplish it at the end. And so knowing that there's somebody at the end of what you're doing is going to benefit from that is the big thing. It's not about me. It's not about, it's not about what I can do on my own. It's about what I can do as a volunteer with the whole team of volunteers and throughout the BC Yukon. It's a huge amount of people, and it is all comes down to trying to support the renal patients as they go through the journey of living with kidney disease.